We all know what Zion Williamson means to the NCAA college basketball scene, not only on the court where he's averaging 22 points a game, 8.8 rebounds, 2.1 assists with a 7.9 win share for Duke, but he's also doing it off the court as well. We've seen how much ticket resale value is going for Duke games. I mean, we saw the one where it was against UNC at Duke Place where it was going for $4,000. We are talking about $4,000 for a Duke game. And we know that, it's dictated by the market, but you see how much Zion Williamson matters to the tournament as well when you see that the numbers are up when Zion Williamson is playing in the game. And this is kind of the question that a lot of people, not the question, but this is kind of the biggest overreaction type of deal where everybody wants the Cinderella story to always happen. But when we look at the Cinderella stories happening in the leagues, whether it's the NBA, whether it's in pro sports, the numbers for that game, if it's not the Yankees, if it's not the Red Sox, if it's not LA, it's not Boston, it's not the Golden State Warriors, if it's not a big market team, nobody wants to watch. And I'm sorry, the guys in San Antonio, no one wants to watch a San Antonio Milwaukee Bucks final. That's just something that not a lot of people like to watch. I know that Giannis is playing very well and he's going to have the international market with him, but it's just not going to do as well as a guy like LeBron James, Miami Heat, LA Lakers team facing off against, let's say, the 76ers. Like, that's going to be a bigger game in terms of more people watching than ever. And that's the reason why a lot of people were upset that Duke won that game, because against UCF, that is, because of the missed foul calls, because everyone was like, no, we want to see Duke go down. But in your heart of heart, you know that you wanted Duke to win. And because Duke did so well and guys like RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish, and Zion are ready for the league, this led a lot of people to saying and have a lot of hot takes on Zion Williamson himself. We know that their NBA comparisons for Zion Williamson are, guys like LeBron James, Charles Barkley, Sean Kemp. I mean, there's a lot of guys that he's compared to, but one guy in particular that had a very hot take opinion that, according to Colin Cowherd, was not even a hot take, was the fact that Paul Pierce said that Zion Williamson is already a top 50 NBA player. And when you stop to think about it, you're saying there's no way that he's a top 50 NBA player. There has to be players better than him. You have guys like Giannis, James Harden, LeBron James, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, a lot of guys, Klay Thompson even, that are better than Paul George, Russell Westbrook. There are guys that are really good in this league. But when you look at the top 50 list for the USA Today poll and who they say are the top 50 NBA players, you have guys like Harrison Barnes. Is he better than Harrison Barnes? And then that's the one thing. If you have to stop and think, if Zion Williamson is better than a certain player, let's say like Kyle Lowry or Blake Griffin or Harrison Barnes, like I talked about, then Zion Williamson is a top 50 NBA player. He might even be a top 30 NBA player. That's not crazy to think. And we know that Colin Cowherd even went crazier today, saying that Zion Williamson is already a top 20. When you got guys missing like Russell Westbrook and Blake Griffin. To me, the Russell Westbrook one I think is a little ridiculous to leave him off the list. But Blake Griffin, I don't know if that's really that ridiculous. I know, like I said, a lot of people are going to say you're smoking crack. You're riding the Zion Williamson hype train. You're bandwagoning for Zion Williamson. But like I said, when you have to stop and think, is Zion Williamson better than said player? Then he's already in the conversation. I know that he hasn't played a lick of NBA basketball. But if he was able to, I think that he would. Even though we've seen Zion Williamson, it seems like he would have been a Blue Devil. Oh my goodness, I can't even talk today. If he wasn't a Duke player, then he would have been a Duke player. I think that's just the way that he is. But I still think that if he was in the NBA right now, he would be a lot better than some of these players. To me, I think what's going to be the biggest challenge for Zion Williamson is making sure that shot that he has is more consistent than ever. And that's going to take at least 3 years to get that going, because we've seen players like Derrick Rose. To this day, he's gotten a lot better at it, but he's finally developed a jump shot, and it took him a very long time to develop that. After his athleticism went away, he had to develop the jump shot or he was going to be gone from the league. And I'm glad that he's finally developed that, but we're here to talk about what Zion Williamson can do. Zion Williamson will put butts in seats. We know that if he's a Knick or if he's a Hawk or if he's a Cav, I hope he's not a Cav, or even a Phoenix Suns player, he will definitely make an immediate impact on whatever franchise he goes to. And that's just the deal with Zion Williamson. And the thing is, a lot of people are starting to question, will he make it in this league? But when you look at his numbers since coming back from the injury, he is 28, 8 in 30 minutes. And we know when we look at a basketball court for college, it's a lot tighter, it's overcoached, there's not a lot of space, but Zion Williamson is finding the space and finding the ways to attack the hoop, and is doing it at such a phenomenal rate. Like I said, he's averaging 28 points a game in less than 30 minutes. You gotta be kidding me that he's averaging that many points in that many minutes. That is why I think Zion Williamson will work in this league. Not only that, the fact that he doesn't even need the ball as much to be an effective player just goes to show you that Zion Williamson will make it in this league. He can just put back missed shots and put them back in. I mean, he just doesn't need the ball in his hand like a guy like RJ Barrett or a guy like Cam Reddish needs it. He is a guy that will do everything. To me, he will be a very effective player in this league, and it's going to be an interesting situation as to, will he struggle at the beginning like a Trae Young and finally bring it out, or will he do a Luka Doncic where he's already balling out and then he kind of struggles a little bit towards the end? That's going to be the biggest question that I want to know from Zion Williamson going into the NBA this coming season. When we look forward to what Duke is going to do in the Sweet 16, the biggest question is going to be, can they win the NCAA championship? That's going to be the biggest question. And I just think that with the team that they have around them, I sometimes think that you need luck to win championships, and that's what Duke got when the guy missed the alley-oop layup, and also when Zion Williamson went to the basket and got the and one. I didn't really think it was a foul, but the refs called it, and they wanted Duke to continue playing. You know, whether that's, you think it's some home cooking, or you think that the refs are biased, that's your opinion, but I just think that you need a little bit of luck sometimes to do it. And of course, UCF also had chances to win that game as well, so we can't really blame them for that. And like I said, a lot of people are going to be questioning Paul Pierce's take on Zion Williamson already being a top 50 NBA player in today's game. But I just think, like I said, the way that he plays the game, the way that you have to question yourself, is he better than said player? Like I said, a Harrison Barnes, a Kyle Lowry. If you have to question that, then I think that you've already gotten your answer. He is a top 50 NBA player, whether you like it or not. It would be like LeBron James going to college at Ohio State or Duke, if that's the college that he would have went to. He would have already been a top 50 NBA player in that time era. Just because, although you had guys like Tracy McGrady in that time, you had guys like Vince Carter, all these other guys, you know that LeBron James is going to be better than those guys. And even this is the one thing that you have to be a little bit careful of, and the one thing that I'm kind of cautious with when it came to Colin Cowherd's take on Zion Williamson being a top 20 NBA player. Are you looking at what he's at right now, or are you looking at his projectability? Because we know that Zion Williamson's projectability and his potential is through the roof. He could be a guy that might be a Charles Barkley. He could even be higher than that because he has a better jump shot. But that's the one thing that's going to be interesting to know in this league. And also for Zion Williamson, what is his potential? And right now, is he a top 50 NBA player? And that's what I want to ask you guys there, the Charge audience. What do you think about Zion Williamson? Is he a top 50 NBA player? Or do you guys think that I'm out of bounds, or people that have that opinion that he is a top 50 NBA player is out of bounds already? And do you guys think that it's too early to say that Zion Williamson is there? And also, do you guys think that Zion Williamson is overrated or underrated? Because in my opinion, I know a lot of people are talking about ESPN and FS1, always talking about it. We know that CBS has a Zion Williamson camera dedicated to him. It's going to cause a lot of people some motions that say, why are you talking about Zion so much? What about the other guys like John Morant, like Cam Reddish, like RJ Barrett, like Hunter from Virginia? Why aren't you talking about those guys? Or Rui Hachimura from Gonzaga? Why aren't you talking about those guys? Because we know that Zion Williamson has the potential to be the face of the NBA. And I know that people are going to laugh at that, but the way that his personality is, the way that his game is, it all just adds up to a guy that could potentially be the face of the NBA, not only for his team, but for the league itself. And that's going to be the biggest question that I want to ask you guys. Like I said, can Duke win the championship, and is Zion Williamson overrated, underrated? That is the biggest questions I want to ask you guys. But anyway, guys, this has been your boy Bernie here on The Charge, giving the latest NBA news and rumors and also basketball opinions. And guys, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Also remember to hit that notification bell to make sure that you don't miss our NBA content talking about different teams and whatnot. But anyway, guys, like I said, my name is Bernie. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.